going on, chat? How are we doing tonight? We ready? We ready? Okay. That's what I like to hear. Alright. Let's see here. NA CS Grand Finals teams. Let me see. Participants. We're gonna put out a poll real quick. Why doesn't have... Hang on. Why can't I just see the whole list? Teams. I don't want to see winners. I want to see the freaking teams. Where are all the teams at? How do you find that? I know that Reason and Vadel are in first place in EU. But where are all of the NA teams? Day 1 leaderboard. I think that's Brazil. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm sorry, I should have had this up already, but I didn't think it would take me but 2 seconds to find this. Come on. See, this has Jamper and Booga. This is not right. Where the heck are just the teams at? Esports leaderboard. Okay, let's go here. Maybe now we'll find it. No, this is what I was just looking at. NA Central, Grand Finals Day 1. So it's not listed, but it doesn't show just who the teams are. Who's in it? Oh gosh. Continue. Come on. Dude, I swear, like, why would it be this hard to find? Where is the leaderboard? NA. Cooper, Miro, Cami Seti. This is 2023. What? 2024. Oh my gosh, it's got everything here except for what I want. It's the format. Alright, 1 second here, and then we're just gonna forget about it. That's Europe. Alright. Forget it. I'm not even gonna bother with it now. It's taking too long to find. Yo, what's going on, Vex? How you doing, buddy? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, if you find it, let me know where to find it at, or send a link or something. I honestly did not think it would be that hard to find. So, I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so we got a little while till it starts, so we'll play for a little bit, and then maybe I'll see if Carson can find it for me. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll play, like I said, we'll play some games, and then I will get on the watch party screen, and we'll watch it. And we'll kind of do like what we did this morning, where we'll watch a game, play a game, watch a game, play a game, and kind of switch back and forth. I am obviously a little bit more interested in this one here than in the one earlier today. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the EU teams well enough to know if Reason and whoever his duo partner is, if they're, you know, really popular or well known or whatever. I mean, I believe that they are, but I'm not 100% sure. So you almost want to not go for, you know, one of the more popular teams. So personally, I would like to see Cooper, Muro, Clicks, Epic Whale, one of those. One of those win it, but, you know, you never know. Alright. Where are we dropping? Where are we dropping here? We can go to our normal spot to start. I think so. I think so. I think so. Alright, we'll play this one here, and then we'll start doing some predictions. Ooh. Sorry, pal. Alright. Do that one here. Yo, is this gonna have two? Oh my gosh. I have never seen that. Okay, we gotta switch. We'll take the minis here. Wish we'd have found a better AR, but that's alright. Okay, hopefully we can have some better games than what we had. Oh, come on, get me down there, get me down there. Guy. Oh no! Oh, I messed up big time. I messed up big time. Okay, let's get over here. Let's get this real fast. Come on. The guy is going to be coming here soon. They're going to hear this going off. Let's get in there. Holy crap, I just won that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, dude. He was completely hiding. I never saw him. Alright, we'll go back to the lobby so we can do... Oh my gosh, I never saw that guy. Never saw him. Okay, let's do predictions. Start prediction. How many kills? We'll just do a kill one to start. Over 5, under 5. Start and go. Okay, there we go. And while that's going, I will start this up. Man. Okay, so, oh my gosh, guys. We have got, like, what, 14,000 points in the pool? I have noticed a few new, match quests. Reach max ammo of any type. I've not seen that one before. Alright, we haven't had a big game in a little while here. Let's get this. Stupid thing, I don't understand why it is doing that. Okay, where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? Let's go to our warehouse building. Alright, we got somebody coming here with us, it looks like. Oh, we got a couple people coming here. Oh, we're lower than him. That's an EMP grenade. Don't need that. No gun in there. Ooh. Are you serious? Oh, come on. Under 5. Oh my gosh, man. Okay, how many circles are there? 9? 12. I wonder, does it tell you at the end how many... Oh, he sees you, buddy. He sees you. Okay. Let's do circles this time. So, storm 1 of 12. Do circle... Let's do 6. Okay, so this one here is just going to be a yes or a no. Will we make it to Storm Circle 6? Start prediction. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of this game. Ready up. Man. That was a tough one. Yeah, I know. Ooh! He just got blown away. I ran right into him, and that was the problem. Okay. You guys are losing faith in my Fortnite abilities. You guys are losing faith. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Alright, search chests. Containers, name location, search 3 chests in a row without taking damage. Man, we could do that. That's a cool one. Dude, if this thing does not stop getting on live, I'm going to scream. Alright, we'll go back to our spot. I'd like to know who lands over here. If there's anybody that lands over here in FNCS. It's a really good landing spot. Maybe not for a duo. Well, I don't know. They both land at the top. They can both get immediate 100 shields. There's lots of chests in here. Lots to farm. And then there's a... a vault not that far away. Alright, we're doing it this game. We are doing it. Ooh. We just got streamer loot. We just got some streamer loot. Okay. Nothing else here. Let's take this. Alright, let's get over to the vault now. Alright, somebody's fighting over here. Easy points. I don't know why I just saw that. Where are they fighting at? They're over here. Oh, I'm gonna look right down on these guys. Anybody else right over here? That guy didn't have anything. Come on. Can I please get my sprint back? Alright, let's get over to the vault. Oh wait, he's above us still. Okay, we're not in the circle here. Alright, let's go, come on. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing here. Oh, we'll take the striker. Oh my gosh. Yes, please. Alright, let's finish looting this real quick. Nope, we don't have time. Dude, is it just me? Oh, no. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna even go back for it now. Crap, I grabbed the wrong gun. And the forecast tower isn't here. Shoot. Hang on. Come on. Oh my gosh. Why is this thing going so slow? Okay. Ah. That tower is here almost every single time. Alright, we gotta go. We have got to go. Let's see. There's got to be another weapon over here. Nope. God, I can't believe I did that. Is the train coming back? Nope, it's going the other way. It's going the other way. Alright, forecast tower is up over here, so we can at least get... I think this one here, the guy drops a shotgun. Nope, I think it's the same for all of them. What did we drop over here? Dude, I have such a weird loadout right now. I know what we need to find. We need to find one of the exotics. Or the mythics. We need to find the, one of the turtles things. I need a shotgun or a submachine gun is what I need. Somebody is over here. Or a grapple hook. That would be really nice. God, no. Come on. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. Match stats. Does it tell you? See, that's what I needed, was some sort of... I needed mobility there. I had such a weird loadout. Okay. I tell you what, I'm not going to choose an outcome there. I don't know what I don't know what storm circle we were in. Alright, we'll let it go. We'll just keep the points in there for this time. And I will pay more attention. I didn't even pay attention to that one. Yeah, I think it was 2. It was 4 or 5. Yeah, we needed some sort of mobility. And honestly, looking back at it now, I should have thrown out the the turret. I couldn't think of what it was called. Excuse me. All right. We're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't have to decide. Classy. We are gonna go to Classy. Thank you very much for that. It's cardboard box, EMP, camo for 10 seconds, deal damage. We'll try for the shoddy. Okay, then after this, we will get onto the watch party. Is gonna start in about 7 minutes. Should be plenty of time to get in another game, the rate we're going. Oh, man. I knew there was going to be a lot of people coming here. Is there a chest back here? Dude, come on. Alright, and give you guys your points. Okay, let's find the watch. Unmute. And okay. Watch party. I know it's blank. Give me 1 second here.
I had the best year last year out of any pro on any Central.
All right.
We came 3rd and 5th in Majors 2 and 3, double qualifying for Globals.
Here we go.
My 2023
Okay,
was
the
good in the
pre-show is
beginning
on now.
because I was placing decently.
I qualified for my first LAN, which was pretty nice and fun, but I also didn't do as good as I thought I would.
Okay.
I think
Let me make
towards
sure you
the
guys
second
got
half of it, I
sound.
played really good. The most disappointing part was the final major where I got third place day one and then underperformed really bad day two, and we were like a second away from getting that placement point we needed to qualify to the global championship. That's the point I look back on the most, and I think it inspired me for this year for sure.
I mean, I feel like at global championships, it was kind of a letdown. I really want to prove myself this time around, finish at least top 5.
Number one thing I do want to do this year is definitely qualify for every single grand finals.
Gonna win FNCS, go to globals, and get a top 10 this time.
For someone like me to qualify to the global championship, I need to make sure I focus up.
I definitely should care and prepare more than I did for the last globals. I got a reality check after getting dead last.
I feel like I have to win a LAN. Like, that's my main goal. I've accomplished kind of everything else, like online.
Qualifying in the first major is going to be pretty hard, but I definitely think I can qualify within the first 2 majors.
It's, everybody competing for that number 1 spot to guarantee their qualification.
I just let it happen when it happens, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put pressure on my shoulders saying I need to win this one, I need to win this one.
It definitely feels more pressure since there's no last chance qualifier this time.
I'm going to put all my effort into the game, and I'm going to just make sure that when September comes around, I'm ready for FNCS Globals.
If I just grind the season and I actually take into consideration that I can qualify through majors, it should be fine.
Even if we do, let's say, win the first FNCS and we qualify, I'm still going to try to win the next 2.
Whatever happens at Grand is where you find the best duo.
I'm gonna try to make myself known as one of the best IGLs in North America.
And I'm going to go for the back-to-back wins, set some new records.
I have to be at the global championship. It's not a how badly do I want to, I have to be there.
Okay. Come on. Okay, here we go. I am. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
What's going on, Fortnite fam? Welcome back to the FNCS. We've made it. Grand finals, 2 days, 6 games each day, and all for the chance, the ability to hold the Axe of Champions high, but probably more importantly, the first seats on the battle bus going to the FNCS Global Championships, all to play for here this weekend. My name is Zeke, and it's not just me. We also have Vivid. We also have Kelly. We have a weekend ahead of us, my friends. This is the FNCS Grand Finals.
This is it, Zeke. This is the thing that we have been talking about through qualifying weeks, through semifinals. It has been one heck of a ride. And Kelly, oh boy, did we get a teaser earlier by watching those EU games happen. There was so much action all the way down into the close. There was barely any heal-ups going on. So much excitement.
I mean, if we're going to talk about teasers, then we also have to talk about the most recent Cash Cup finals, which just seemed like a grand finals mini. It was absolutely insane. The top 7 are the biggest names that we have in Fortnite. Acorn and Cold came out on top in first place, grabbed 2 victory royales, and then Agers and Kanada, second place, super close, grabbed 3 victory royales. Let's see if they can do that today.
Man, I can't wait to get into it. This is going to be amazing. We've got 6 games ahead of us, so let's just jump right into it. Storm Surge. 13. We know and we saw in EU it was a problem for some duos, so I have a couple questions. How does it affect teams?
Yeah,
How do we manage it?
Storm
Vivid, what
Surge
is it?
Yeah, I guess the first question that needs to be answered is what the heck is Storm Surge? And Storm Surge is basically a mechanic in the game that aims to regulate how many players are alive during each and every zone. So let's take Zone 6, for example. It wants there to be 60 players alive. Now, if there are more than 60 players alive during Zone number 6, then Storm Surge will activate. And if it activates, it will deal 25 damage every 5 seconds to a specific team. And how it actually determines what specific team it will start to deal damage to is based off of a damage leaderboard. And if you are kind of below that Storm Surge threshold, below the amount of damage that other players have dealt throughout the lobby, then you will be the one chosen by Storm Surge. Long story short, you basically just need to do more damage than the rest of the lobby.
And another thing to note about Storm Surge is that it actually recently changed from Zone 4 on. Essentially, 4 more players need to go down per zone. And here we're actually looking at the summary of all of the semifinal days that we had, how much damage needed to be done, and how many players were left per each zone. So you can see that Zone 4 is missing there, and that's because no players, Storm Surge wasn't activated. However, with the new changes and going back and looking at all of the games, Zone 4 would have been activated pretty much every single game. So I can expect that we're going to see some early Storm Surge today as well.
Yeah, I love that you kind of call out this change, right? This happened this week. And so the question becomes, how have duos managed to adapt, right? Adaptability, consistency. These are words we kind of toss around in the Fortnite space. For some duos, they're still trying to figure out some of these strategies. I wanted to highlight a duo here, Iamzo and Rise. We're looking at these guys as possibly a contender and frontrunner in the competition. We like some of the Storm Surge kind of adaptations they've made.
The red
I mean, Storm Surge is tough, and if you're going to want to be consistent, especially in grand finals, then you're going to have a strategy kind of based around it. Now, Iamzo and Rise are notorious for being consistent, especially last year, Kelly. So coming into this grand finals, I expect that they will definitely have a strategy that we're going to break down here in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I really feel like we kind of don't give them the credit that they deserve. If you look at last year, they got 3rd, 4th, and 3rd between all of the majors and have performed incredibly well throughout the last few weeks. And part of that is due to their Storm Surge strategy.
Yeah, let's take a look at their position right here. They, of course, land a little bit towards the center of the map, but in this game from semifinals, they decided to go towards the edge of the storm. Now, the reason that they're going to want to do that, there's several reasons, but what helps is that there are usually a lot of players towards the edge, right? That's usually how it works. And once they realize that the zone is pulling all the way up north, they actually invest some of their movement items to make sure that they don't end up on the congested side of zone. Now, once they do that, they're also able to go ahead and fight for their cash, which they basically end up getting for free. But as the game actually continues on, we're going to see them continuously kind of do something that is very, very smart. Like I just mentioned, since the zone in this specific game flew all the way up to the north, of course, most of the teams that are making those rotates will find themselves on the south side of zone. And since most of the teams are going to be on the south side of zone, if you need damage for Storm Surge, why not go towards where all of the players are going to be, or at least most of them? So let's take a look at their position. It's going to be highlighted there. They're going to be in between those purple arrows on the right, and then look at this in that red circle. Look how many teams are coming up from the south. Iamzo and Rise are going to make sure that for the rest of the game, they have all of these congested teams, this jumble of teams within their range, but they don't want to directly involve themselves with any of those teams, right? Be box to box with them, because then they would just be a part of all of the congestion. Keeping these teams within their line of sight is important because they then have teams to actually deal damage to.
Yeah, a lot of this issue with Storm Surge comes from being uncontested, where they're going to be landing in Little Villa. They are uncontested there, meaning that they're not going to have these early engagements. So when they do rotate, they need to find other ways to grab those tags. And by going to dead side, there's the reason it's called dead side. There's not that many players there. So the position that they have is obviously going to help them out in the middle game.
Not the leaderboard.
Okay. So do we feel like some of these duos are ready to kind of attack some of these new Storm Surge changes? Do we feel like maybe there's still some issues we need to figure out?
I mean, yeah, there definitely should be, right? A lot about competitive Fortnite is about getting the reps in, right? And when changes like this kind of happen last minute, it's pretty much who can actually adapt on the fly, right? The experience that you have when it comes to Storm Surge can definitely come and play a part when it's just a little bit more aggressive, as we're going to see this weekend.
Love it. Love it. Let's talk about contested and uncontested. New Fortnite fans, welcome.
Two
What words did I just
viewers.
use? Did I make them up? No, this is a real thing. Contested just means if we're duoed up, we're landing in a POI, suddenly there's another duo there, we're contested. If it's free, we can just do whatever we want in the POI, it's uncontested. So with that in mind, let's kind of focus this in a little bit. What does this mean specifically to be uncontested? How does this help?
Basically, you're going to get a part of the map to yourself. And as you can see, some of our favorites coming into the weekend, they're going to have some uncontested job slots, which is big for them, right? As we know,
I didn't think
is a
Booga was
big
in
part
this.
of an FNCS. And as history speaks a lot for itself, most of
That's
our
who
winners
I
have
was
been
looking at.
uncontested. But I want to go ahead and hone in here on Kanata and Aegis, Kelly, because in my opinion, definitely one of the favorites to take home the championship.
Oh, without a doubt. And we already said before, Cash Cup, they got second place, great position, and that was from an uncontested drop spot there. However, if we look at their semifinals days, day one was a little rough for them. They got 17th place, and they were contested, going down early twice in that day. However, day two, now they're uncontested, and guess what? They grabbed 6th place. So clearly, this is a duo that thrives on being uncontested and has a bit more of an ability to take on these engagements when it comes to the mid and late game.
All right, okay, I like that. So obviously we had a chance here to look at the map. I want to bring that map back up again because as we kind of highlight Kanata and Agers as a duo that is uncontested, there's more, right? And a duo we have eyes on and rightfully so, it's Reet and Ritual. I mean, let's not forget their week one 100 points ahead of everybody else. And now you're telling me they're uncontested?
Yeah, they're going to get the south side of Reckless Railways uncontested, and they're kind of used to getting that. But something else that they are kind of used to getting throughout the qualifiers and throughout semifinals has been that forecast tower. Now, whether or not they're going to be able to get that uncontested is still up for question. But Kelly, I can guarantee that they will at least be fighting for it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and bully anybody off and end up getting it uncontested throughout the rest of the games.
And although they do have the south side to themselves, there is Sphinx and Pump, an incredible duo just landing north of Railways or North Railways. So they are soft contested is what I'd like to say, or uncontested. And with day one, they had a relatively bad performance in the semifinals, getting 25th place, but none of this was due to off-spawn fights. And within day two, they were able to grab 9th place. And then in day three, obviously the best performance that we've seen from Ritual, getting 1st place. And even though they went down
really
somewhat early in game 3, they were still 80 points ahead of 2nd place. So regardless of if they're contested, uncontested, whatever you want to say, they're obviously able to handle it.
Okay, so that's uncontested, right? That's we're good. We land, we're cool. Let's talk about being contested. The south half of our map is just names on names. So talk me through this a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting crazy down here, and if you go ahead and look through some of these names, you'll find some of the favorites to actually go ahead and win this FNCS. Let's take a look at the fields.
Really
Acorn and Cold, and Pen and Mason, and Paper and Muzz. 3 duos actually landing here, to no surprise. Very strong POI, and all 3 of these teams have been finding themselves landing here throughout the qualifiers and throughout semifinals. And a lot of people have been saying that, you know, sometimes when you're contested, you could kind of go ahead and split some of the POI, split some of these buildings.
And loot.
But I'm hearing that Acorn and Cold may be directly contested. So some of these teams may be looking for a fight to take out some of our favorites early on. I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Well, Acorn and Cold were definitely able to beat out Muzz and Paper in the Cash Cups. However, Inpin and Mason weren't there. So having 3 teams contesting them and doing that hard drop might be a different situation. But I do think that we all look to Acorn and Cold to be able to handle these early game fights.
Okay, I vibe with it. And of course, 6 games, 12 across 2 days. They can make those micro adjustments. Let's bring back up that map. Let's talk about more of these contested fights. Because, man, we're going to be seeing quite a few. Talk to me about the Ship It Station.
Yeah, just over to the west, we're going to be seeing Peterbot and Pollo versus Mew and Xpon. Or will we? I don't know. I was doing a little bit of research last night. I was chatting in some streams, specifically to Comp Report. Shout out to him. And he was saying that Mew and Xpon might have something up their sleeve, and they're actually aiming to go ahead somewhere else on the map. Big question mark there, whether or not they will leave. Which, honestly, if I was looking at where I was landing during an FNCS and I saw Peterbot and Pollo landing in the same area, I'd be like, yeah, maybe we should go ahead and leave, because Kelly, if we saw aggression at all throughout some of the weeks and throughout semifinals, it was definitely coming from Peterbot and Pollo.
Yeah, I I would not be surprised if we don't see Mew and X Pawn Lion somewhere else. I'm talking about the Cash Cup a lot because it's the most recent tournament we had in set lobbies. And Peter Bon Pollo took them down 4 out of 6 games on drop. That's definitely not how you want to start your grand finals day. So
like,
yeah, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise to see them change up their drop spots.
Yeah,
this is going to be crazy, right? So I want to kind of frame this next question to the fact that now we are going to set lobbies, but we have 2 days of competition. How different have we seen grand finals usually be to like everything else we've seen to this point?
Oh, grand finals is just a step up for sure, right? All of those strategies that any of your team showing throughout qualifiers and semifinals, they honestly need to take it a step up when it comes to actually executing on some of those strategies. And I mean, if we're going to be talking about how EU went, right, we just saw it all. We saw solo clutches. Teams have great performances from low ground, great high ground retakes late into the moving zones. I'm expecting it all, Kelly.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially with the new format that we have, that for day 2, it's going to be 1.5 times the points. And there's definitely day 2 duos out there. A duo that I do want to talk a little bit about, Iamzo and Rise. Historically speaking, in the last chapter that we had for Majors 1 and 2, they actually ended off day 2, if you just look at day 2's points, in first place. So with that being in mind of the meta, I definitely think that Iamzo and Rise is going to have a bit of an advantage. However, hopefully he's feeling better, but on social media, Iamzo did say that he's sick.
You are back.
That's gonna be tough. But listen, they're pros for a reason, right? I get sick, that's it. No one talk to me, I'm gonna lay in bed all day. These are pros, right? Now, we kind of talked about this, and you kind of highlighted a little bit, but day 2 teams, day 1 teams, can you just quickly walk me through that? What does that mean?
Yeah, you know, day 1, day 2 teams. Some teams, if they're a day 2 team specifically, maybe they need day 1 to kind of adjust, see how the lobby's actually playing out, and then when it comes to day 2, they just kind of show up. Some teams just like to, you know, show up on day number 1, and then for some reason they kind of like fall off a little bit on day number 2. But honestly, as we get closer here to the game, Kelly, I'm thinking about predictions, and I want one from you as well as Zeke. I'm gonna go ahead and throw out Kanata and Aders as winning it. I think that they're just too good at Storm Surge.
Kelly?
Okay, can I have 2 answers?
No.
So Acorn and Cold are obviously on a run right now. I always talk about snowballing, but from the NA West side of me, I'm gonna say Reet and Ritual.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. All right, I'm gonna double down. I like Reet and Ritual as a duo that can walk away with win. But listen, that's just it for now, because I know what you want. You want to kick off the competition. You want some games. Well, before we get there, why don't we ask ourselves one question? What makes a champion?
What makes a champion? A champion is someone who ain't afraid of the big stage. A champion is someone who stands tall against any opposition. A champion is someone who can do it not once, not twice, but 5 times. A champion isn't someone who never fails, but someone who never quits. A champion has an edge.
I remember watching.
They have ice in their veins. They can't be cracked. A champion is someone who can step away from the battle bus for 2 years and come back like they never left. Champions innovate. Champions inspire. Champions conquer the world. Again and again and again. Champions can do it when the lights are the brightest, and they can come from the shadows when you least expect it. Champions come from far and wide to show you how great they are. A champion's journey begins long before a title is won. But the grand finals is the road all champions must take to reach their destination. This is the place where they make it known.
Really bad day today.
This is where champions are crowned.
Let's go. It's time.
And we are off. The FNCS starts right here, right now. The grand finals, 12 brutal games of Fortnite are ahead of the competitors. Taco, and I couldn't be more excited to be here to call it with you.
I don't know.
It's exactly, you read my mind, MDF, because we have 12 games of action throughout the course of this weekend. But here, day number 1 of the NAFNCS Grand Finals. Who is going to try and pave their path to being the AXA champion lifter.
Well, the stage is set, and here we have it, the first battle that's going to kick off here between Rapid, Batman Booga, and the competitors that are landing all around them. There's about 3 teams down in this lower corner of the map, and you have to imagine this is where nerves are so high. But for Batman Booga and Rapid, they already have the advantage. They have the shield here to kick it off, and they're actually dictating the pace of the fight, cutting the opponents off already to try to secure the upper advantage.
Oh,
really nice lookout motives here by Rapid. Gets a solid placement on that last shield breaker EMP. Now just going to crank up a little bit, get some overhead view over Skater and Dalty, but Skater, Dalty, not one to go down without a fight. Love this split positioning though from Batman Booga. He's looking to try and take the flank opportunity here while the distraction coming from up high out of Rapid. Have to remember, this is also a duo who really left a pretty big impact throughout the course of semis. I mean, they had to battle their way through the lower bracket just to make it into the upper bracket. And then once they established their foothold there, found the Victory Royale during our win and in
right?
time.
Yeah, and it was towards the tail end, right? It wasn't a quick and easy in and out weekend for Rapid and Batman Booga by any means. They truly did have that uphill battle. They're one of the few teams that, you know, found favoritism to this types of format, but jumping into things, Rapid and Booga have to close this battle quickly if they want time to really get situated and beat the zone here as things are starting to move. And while this is all happening, the feed is equally lighting up as individuals are getting picked apart. So there's going to be plenty to update in just a couple of moments, but Rapid and Batman Booga haven't concluded the battle when they have the advantage.
No, and right now, still a little bit of a split approach here from Rapid and Batman Booga. They've got to deal with the likes of Skater and Dalty. Neither side wanting to forfeit anything further here at Research Rock, but Rapid, Batman Booga, again, still with a relatively massive shield advantage over the opposition currently. And yeah, MDF, right now, it looks as if Rapid might have had a glimpse there into finally securing a knock or an elimination of some kind, but just not enough ammo in that Thunderburst to want to keep that engagement going. So it will be a brief fallback is now Batman Booga.
Red circles are...
will continue to be a little bit split from his duo. Does have a good amount of that Flowberry Fizz, though, to keep himself well sustained. Now looking back, try and challenge the height. It's Dalty just looking for an escape route. Rapid not trying to let him have it. Skater as well splitting off from Dalty, but now it's Rapid who can find himself in a bit of a fickle position here. Just wants to get the wraparound onto Dalty. First shot from the pump, not going to be able to connect. Dalty still barely managing to hold on for dear life here inside of his box, but Rapid, he's got the positioning he needs. He just needs to close it out with the aim. But the box fight still looking to possibly be turned here. Batman Booga on the immediate retreat. Rapid now.
My God.
Not any longer. Skater and Dalty refusing to budge.
What just happened? That is what we call competitive pressure. Skater and Dalty Walty do not give up by any means. They managed to turn around what looked to be an absolute dismal situation, but Rapid, when it mattered most, when he had his opponent boxed off, when they played it so textbook, he could not land the shots that mattered most. What a crazy turn of events. Did not see that coming at all.
That was crazy.
But here we have it, Taco. We jump ahead with Cold and Acorn, who are surrounded by plenty of opponents here. This is just equally a part of the situation, but we have something even more important arising here. Aaron and Chance potentially taking out another favorite of Baka and Pars. Baka and Pars have had this historical slow start so far on all of their first features on the big weekends, and right now looks like he's got the lobby pressure and of course Aaron and Chance right on top of their heels, and that's going to find them eliminated here in full.
You can definitely tell that a lot of these teams trying to avoid some of those new surge thresholds that have been implemented. Keeping in mind, 4 less for every zone. So a lot of the action here, teams trying to confirm their damage, confirm these eliminations early on. Also, as far as Baka and Pars are concerned, their real downfall there is that fight essentially determining who's going to be able to secure the forecast tower. As of right now, though, a slightly separate engagement here. Peterbot Pollo not necessarily caught up in the action just yet, but don't necessarily know what their journey looked like. They've got their base built up currently around this forecast tower, but the moment it spawns in, you have to imagine Aaron and Chance willing to take another chance with another engagement.
A completely different story for Reet and Ritual, seemingly uncontested for their chance at, of course, this massive advantage in the forecast towers. And we've seen so much occur as far as fights, battles, right? And
I was like, wait a second.
Key points of moments, critical moments occur here for the forecast towers for Reet and Ritual. If things continue this way, if no one gives them resistance, if no one impedes on their territory, they will have the greatest advantage to take an FNCS. And even Reet took to social media. He was talking about how he has never felt this supported by the community as a favorite, but he likes the way it feels. He feels great. And I think that mental addition is going to definitely show itself this weekend. And already, Taco, I mean, I'm feeling like they have everything set up for them.
Only time will tell, though, whether or not Reet and Ritual truly are the main characters of this first FNCS Grand Finals, because there's quite a few other teams here, Monster, that would love to take that title away from them. Epic Clicks. Another duo that has a lot of fan favoritism supporting it.
Let's go.
So can't ever count out Clicks or Epic in terms of making things be a little bit flashy as well on their approach here, but hanging out by Rebels Roost currently. Clicks and Epic, very common rotation for them to move from Lavish Lair over towards the Rebels Roost, where they know they're going to have at least one or two teams that they could look to try and secure some of their surge damage on.
Definitely have to find a fight. Dan Redux might be a great pick for them. We'll see how that ends up unfolding for them now. On over the threats and Dukes. And one thing I did notice in the feed as G Money picks up an elimination right there is that Kanata might have found a knock in a full elimination, so they might be potentially conned. When I know we were coming out of the opening, you know, kind of ceremony of this NA coverage, talking about they might be completely uncontested, but I think there are some folks actually looking to adjust here. So we'll see who ultimately ends up having to battle their way out of their drop spots. Kanata and Aegis are completely healthy at the moment. For all we know, they could have beat the drop on someone. But look, they do have 2 eliminations here. And this is from those early game battles. It almost started off immediately with a fight there.
Pistols from, man. I can never
and seeing Kanata as well with this lock-on pistol. Kind of curious because with their drop being by the Ritzy Riviera, they have a little bit of eyesight overhead with that slight elevation. More on that later, though. Right now, Epic Clicks found exactly what they're looking for. It's a fight up against Dan Redux. Absolutely gassed. Nothing in the tank there for Day.
What a great tag. Epic Whale Clicks making quick work of Day and Redux here with no one around either in the zone. That's a perfect setup for them. I'm a little concerned, actually, of how fast that fight happened, that they're not going to have enough surge, believe it or not. You know, you go from 200 to 0 that quick. That's just 400 damage off of 2 players. They didn't seemingly have time to heal or anything like it. But the show goes on at the complete opposite side. Rise and Yamzo. We chatted about how they have this 2-day formula locked in, but day 1 is the most pivotal, the most critical of their success. If they can take the lead here, they do have the history of playing very well after making adjustments leading into day 2. And for them to be the last team to rotate right now, granted they do have some grapple hooks, is still extremely concerning.
Even have the options there for crash pads if they so choose, but the way that Rise and Yamzo are running past that farm ability definitely indicates that a lot more favoritism towards just using those grapples instead. But Rise actually maxed out on metal currently, still looking to try and ensure that Yamzo has just as much of those hard materials steadily available, because as they make this rotate, heading north out of the hazy hillside, they're definitely going to have to try and battle up against the likes of teams that are already situated, already poised on some of that northern elevation, so it could make things rather difficult. So they'll definitely want as much hard material as possible for those rotates.
Yeah, very important to single out the fact that they are putting that much. They're going to trade out positioning for better, high-grade material. But Bugha and Aviv, the complete opposite, already at the zone here. Not maxed out on metal or brick by any means here. However, they are trying to play for key positioning so they can set themselves up to not only stay away from potential opponents and players on the edge, but find themselves some tags and really determine the pacing at which they take their battles. It's a great spot to be in here at the Reckless Railways. Like we talked about, we already know this general territory is housed by Ritual, but they have the storm information, right? They know exactly where to go with that forecast tower. So unless they're long gone, I mean, we can assume the zone might be pulling this way. We'll see when we get an update with them.
Yeah.
I went up. The other thing that Bugha and Aviv are likely going to be keeping an eye out for, as well as honestly every single team participating in this Grand Lobby MDF, is the fact that these combat caches, I think with these new surge changes having been implemented, probably expect more players to try and get aggressive with those caches. I know oftentimes you won't necessarily see teams to head on ready to aggress, but it's not just the material having that max metal, but just having the opportunity, generating the opportunity to get some surge tags online, such as what Muzz and Paper are lying in wait by the bush, Neko balls, just the raw neighborhood, man, and that's part of the play that's involved with the Grands weekend. Muzz, Paper, just again creating their own opportunity.
That is right. This is game one of the FNCS Grand Finals. If you're just tuning in, don't miss a beat here. Things are going to start getting pretty intense now as we're approaching the new Storm Surge thresholds. We talked about that 70 threshold being the place to be, the marker to have to fight towards. And if things don't start to turn up now, it's only going to become more and more of a issue for the lobby. But we've seen plenty of action here for an FNCS Grand Finals game number one, which continues to be set as far as pacing is concerned for an NA server. You can see there the new thresholds updated.
Okay.
And yeah, based off that fourth zone, 74 remaining players, we're due to see at least a couple of players maybe making some plays out of desperation as they try to get those damage thresholds above what they need. Skittles still trying to remain proactive as well. It'd be difficult though to acquire tags with just a standard Ranger pistol.
Why is he only got
a push right here? Golden and Ozone thought they had the coast clear, and all of a sudden Zooks and company land right up here on the Rift Island. They won't be able to secure the cache. However, they will get all the brick and material down on the bottom edge. For Golden Company, this is the better spot to be, and I'm actually surprised we don't see Clicks and Epic Whale up here. We've seen them throughout all of the semifinals weekends play for this Rift Island zone, and they generally have landed just to the north. You think they have rotated south by now if they're taking out Dan Redux. So positioning might be looking a little wary for them as we start edging into the later rounds of this game. We last checked in where Ritual they were at. Pretty much general drop spot at the railways, so we know the zone's going to likely be pulling center and or eastern. We'll see when the timer updates. For now, Acorn and Cold are looking a bit desperate here, Taco. Very, very low material even after the 50-50 split, so you have to assume that both of these players are less than half their material cap count. They will have to battle here shortly.
For sure, but they can at least pick a more calculated moment in comparison to some of the other teams that might be surrounding them, given that their damage threshold is several hundred above.
I did not know.
Acorn likely on the lookout, currently trying to scout, see if there is a possible third-party opportunity where they can look for that chance to secure some eliminations, build their damage even higher, but most importantly of all, get those materials, because they are most definitely going to need them throughout the course of these rotates, especially coming from that south side edge of the zone where a lot of the congestion is going to be building up anyway.
Trashy and Skittles continue to maintain this high ground spot. We already know that Skittles is having a very hard time with that tactical pistol, finding tags at range, so this is really all up to Trashy here to get this pressure going, to get these tags landed. Otherwise, they will start to fall behind very, very quickly. That's just one of the risks you take, prioritizing a more close range battle or weaponry. Meanwhile, Clicks finds an elimination in the feed there, so Clicks and Epic Whale continuing to turn on the gas pedal even under the pressure pressure of what will be, of course, the Storm Surge to come here later. But for now, look, the pacing of the game moving faster than the warnings, showing that we really do have a very active NA server right now. They're not playing any games. They're not taking any chances. You have to respect an aggressive game one coming out of the lobby. Just tells us that we have confident players in here.
Confidence, certainly something that Peterbot has more than an ample amount of. But Peterbot, Pollo, actually going to make their approach from inside of this little ravine. And now Peterbot still trying to keep an eye out for some of these other teams. Knows that they're trying to get slightly further ahead into zone, but Peterbot's got to be careful here. He's got one right in front of him. G-Money trying to look for a regroup opportunity. As Peterbot will find a chance to get that small shield potion off. A little bit of Flowberry Fizz as well out of Pollo. Now it'll be Pollo. Peterbot following the rotation. Encrypted and Ducky just ahead. Same for Diego plays. G-Money, but it's going to be Diego who gets the bulk of the damage there out of Peterbot.
And look at the key right here. They jump on G-Money right away. They don't want to give this up by any means. And Peterbot is the exception, not the rule. When you push into a team, you have to be very much worried that everything can end. Normally, Peterbot will be able to slip out of this type of situation, but you have to assume the pressure of the server is looming on all of these competitors right now, and it just doesn't go his way this time around. And now Diego's left to pick up the pieces here. G-Money at 4 eliminations, by the way. They get finished here very early into the hands of Ducky and Encrypted.
Bitrate is... Keep
in mind, a great day one performance is important, but day two is even more important as the points are going to be worth even more. 1.5 times as much, in fact.
That's such a tragic situation, though, for G-Money and Diego. They were more than set on their surge damage. Peterbot and Pollo just taking such an aggressive jump into their box like that right as the 2-tick zone is approaching, and both teams caught out of it. Just can't imagine that it was ever going to be that beneficial for Peterbot and Pollo either, but at the very least...
Paper tick down Kanata. Paper tick down Kanata right there. We haven't seen Aegis fall, but Taco, that's looking pretty tight for some of the favorites.
At least it's game one, if anything. That's something that always the key in the back of your mind. Even if you don't get the best start to the day, if you're at least able to close things out in match number 6, a solid finish, you still feel pretty good about your odds heading into day 2 typically, because consistency will be the key for these teams here today. There's a lot of teams dogpiling each other here at the Lavish Lair Garden. Trashy just trying to keep it moving, wants to break into that edge of zone, get some positional favoritism before the rest of the lobby has a chance to catch up. Trashy knows that if this zone continues to pull towards that north side, does not want to get caught in that south end congestion. But it's hard to look back and find those tag opportunities to maintain above that damage threshold too.
What's crazy about what we're watching, especially like, forget the gameplay on the screen, I'm just looking at the way the map, the bottom right, the way all of the players are moving, they are just ratting their way edge to edge. This is really showing you that there's an anomaly occurring here on the FNCS Grand Finals. This is how important it is to the players that they just want to get to the safety of the zone, base down, and if they have to fight, so be it. They'll take those fights. For Ritual, they have much more knowledge than others. They know where the next zone's going, right? So